What's up?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, great. Thanks for taking the time to do this with me today.
No problem.
So, how did it start? What's your story? What got you into gymnastics?
So where it all started was my dad was actually a karate expert. So he was in the karate world big time.
Yeah,
And me growing up during the era as a 90s baby, when there's Spider-Man, Batman, etc., etc., you
yeah,
have that tendency to be all over the place at a young age. So you're like 5, 6, 7, doing all of these acrobatic stunts. And I'm a
yeah.
person where I'm an outdoor person, so I'd never like to be inside. So most likely when I'm at school or etc., I'll find persons that are like me. So
Yeah.
to channel that energy, my dad really kind of, exposed me to a gym. So the gym that we went to was called Ishimoto's Gymnastics, and that was the
Okay.
only in Jamaica at the time. And the first time I went to that gym, which was about 6, 6, 7,
Yeah.
the gym was pretty big, pretty decent for homegrown,
Mm,
but half was karate, half was gymnastics.
right.
So it was an invite from a friend of his. Say, hey, come through, let's see what's going on at the gym. So I went to the gym and I saw on the left hand side like few kids in their gi, in their karate gi, and they're just sitting there and they're like you have two persons just sparring and stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I'm like on this side, it's all colorful, and there was this one girl that at the time she was training for the Olympics as well. Her name was Shanae Gentles. I'm not sure if you're familiar with her.
Okay.
So she was like one of the best at the time, and that's the first time I actually saw a double backflip. I saw a
Really?
double. And me being that small, seeing that, I'm like, no,
Wow.
this is me. This is me. So I got enrolled around 7. During that time, there were like more girls than boys. So I'm one of two males that are the first homegrown gymnasts ever,
Wow.
right? So myself starting at that time with a lot of girls, having that tendency, it's a girls, not really a girls sport because I didn't really think of it like that, but
Yeah.
hearing it from other persons. But it was fun knowing that I could do stuff that persons couldn't do,
Yeah,
and
of
kind
course.
of push me. And then eventually, we got another coach, which is Mr. Nishida, which is my coach. So he came as a Japanese brand here through the Japanese embassy, and he realized that we didn't have a boys team. So
Yeah.
he went back and forth to Japan, got his certification, came to Jamaica, got his certification. Then we just moved. We kind of moved with him, and he started his own thing.
Right.
And from there on in, we eventually bonded, and created a team, and we've been like back to back. We only done a few competitions, which is in the States. So we normally go
Right.
to Tampa, Tropical Field, and do like those small competitions because I mean
Yep.
that's what we could afford. Because as you know, it's hard to get funding for practically any other sport if it's not football or
Yeah.
yeah, in Jamaica because it's track and field or football here.
Adding to what you said previously about gymnastics being a girl's sport, because it
Yeah.
is female dominated, there is this perception and stereotype in society that men who do gymnastics are either gay or seen as feminine. Have you had any negative comments about you do gymnastics?
Well, when I was in primary school, most of the kids there, they don't know the full. Like when you're ready to do a competition, you have your full suit on, you have your leotard
Yeah.
and stuff. You feel more professional. You're a superhero at that moment in time.
Mm,
So they don't know. They only see it and have that perception of you're wearing a girl's outfit. You
yeah,
know, but it's not a male or a female outfit. It's just your suit. It's
exactly.
just your suit in general. So when I was at school, the most I'd get is you swing on a pole, and stuff like that. But
Ugh,
the thing is, it didn't really, like, for me personally, it didn't really bother me because like
good.
when it's time for like a school fair or like a class party or something, and I'm like doing a backflip off the wall,
Yeah.
and all the girls are flocking around me. They're like, "Oh, can you teach me that? Can you teach me that?" So I didn't really look at it as a negative thing, but I could get where a person that's growing up, say example with his mom alone, because I have a teammate that grew up with his mom alone,
Right.
and he's not that, strong mentally when it comes down to stuff like that. When I was at school, I could remember there's two bullies. One of them, I think they repeated like 2-3 times because of how bad he was, and his parents didn't want him to come out of school because things could have get worse.
Yeah.
So he was one of the ones that were really picking on me, and he has his little minion, which was the second baddest guy in the school. But the thing is, they didn't really give me much problem because my dad knew, like, he used to work at the school. He's a photographer as well.
So he
So
knew.
he take pictures for the school. So he'll be at the school multiple, few times and stuff like
Right.
that. And then them knowing that he does karate, they don't want to mess with me because
Right.
I can do karate too. So
Oh.
yeah, but at the same time, when I did like a flip off the wall, one of the little guy was like, "Yo, I didn't know you knew you could do that," because I didn't look like a kid that could do that those type of stuff. But moving on, like to like graduation time, we decided to do a demo at the school. So when we were there, my teammate came with me. My two other teammates came with me. So we were in a full suit. We took us to mushroom, and we looked like, to them, they're like, how these guys look like that, da, 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 da. And then as soon as we go bam, and then we start. We did the mushroom, so we did like a few circles, and then as soon as I went to the flare, you hear the whole school, whoa!
Oh my god!
And then me going, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna give it to them, and I just did spindles, and then did like Russian, do the whole works, and then finish, and then the whole people like, congratulating. I'm like, yeah, this is the real stuff.
Yeah.
They really kind of see how it is, being that type of person in that type of sport,
Of course,
so.
yeah. What has been your biggest achievement in gymnastics?
All right, so my biggest achievement is representing Jamaica in two World Championships, 2015 and 2017 World Championships, and also the Pan American Games, which was 2 years ago. Yeah.
Are you aiming for Tokyo Olympics next year?
All right. So personally, for me, that's my aim, and I mean that's most gymnasts. That's their goal.
Yeah.
I'm at a stage right now where I'm pretty fit. I can keep up with all events right now. But the thing is, for me, it's my coach. He actually left, so he went back to Japan with his family. So I don't have a coach right now. So I don't have a coach right now. I'm pretty self-taught. So I recently just moved to where I'm at right now. I recently just moved to my own place. So I'm trying to keep my business. Thank you. So I'm just trying to focus a little bit more on business. I'm keeping them like more half and half because I'm juggling two businesses. I'm a personal trainer and I do customized sneakers.
Going into that, actually, I've seen the work of your customized trainers. They are very good. You are very talented. How did that start as well?
Me trying to push myself with the art is something that really came naturally. So like when I was at school, I would like have those little cards that came in the snacks. I like draw them and sell them back sometimes. My mom, she used to draw a lot, and I think I got that gift
from her.
Not only from God, but like through their genetics. You know what I mean? Me starting the art, my brother, he actually started the business so like put a pause on just like the art part. When I was doing, like, I'm still in the gymnastics world, it's more about like just training. So I have to do a certain amount of hours, and I'm like,
of course,
I'm like really back to back because we're trying to grow the sport here as well. So my focus is just purely on gymnastics because even like when I left school, I just started coaching just to fund myself in training, So me training and doing all of this, I didn't have time for anything else really. I just on my brother to say, hey, you need to start a small business. That's how the world is going right now. So we'll get like the blank shirts, get the vinyl, and we have somebody print it for us, and then we do the deliveries, and then we see that he was going really far, And right now his page has like 4,000 something followers.
Wow,
So I was like, I need to take my thing serious, And then I kind of branched off because I used to sell shirts on my page as well. That's how I started off. So I do custom shirts. And then I kind of focus more on the shoes because there is not a market for it here. I'm like one of probably 3 persons that actually do it. I do it as a business. That the other
Yeah.
2 persons probably do it like, they just do it one off. So I decided to take it really serious because when I do like one custom, and I mean I don't even charge how I'm supposed to be charging here because
Really? How much do you charge?
if I'm providing, so there's 2 options. If I'm providing the shoe and just the design, you can provide a shoe, send it to me and just charge you for the design, and I can provide a shoe and then do the whole thing and then send it off to you. But there's also a next part of it because in Jamaica, it's not like in the UK where they sell authentic stuff all the way
Right.
through. There's a lot of Chinese stuff and fake stuff, and I mean Jamaicans don't mind it because we like to switch up styles like often. So and then you can't even tell, you can't really tell. If I'm charging say like 150 for a pair of sneakers, that's like $21,000 Jamaican.
Oh,
And
right.
most persons, they're not like they're not like uptown, they're not like uptown or they won't buy it. So what I do is like bring it down to the say the Chinese cost or whatever. So
Yeah.
I'll charge like because what I get some of the shoes for is pretty cheap, it's pretty reasonable. So I don't
Mm.
really mark it up. I mark it up to where I can still live off of it and they
Yes.
can benefit from having my art as well.
Of
So
course.
I kind of have it on both for now, trying to make it more international. Because I've been
Yeah.
featured on Buzz magazine. I've been featured on Buzz magazine. That's a pretty big magazine for the
Yeah,
Caribbean.
I did see that. I did see the article. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool to have it out there. And a lot of persons do know that since I've done a little competition with Catch and Speak, a lot of persons really know that that's my business. And as I said before, it's a market that's going to grow, and I mean
Of
it's
course.
fashion. So fashion in
Yeah.
Jamaica especially doesn't go out of style.
Yeah.
Trust me, trust me, because they're always looking for everything pretty new. Because I literally have these right here. I just did. So
That's
this whole
really
thing
good.
is white.
Yeah. And it's
You
all
know.
by hand, isn't it?
Yes, yes. That's one of the main things why I even started the business was to get more funding because, although the government, the sport, well, yeah, the government in general, they do help from time to time. The Olympic Association, they do help
Yeah.
from time to time. But I mean, at this stage right now, we started as homegrown. We started with 5 boys, basically 5 boys,
Mm.
homegrown, right? And it's just myself and one of my other teammates right now because my other 2 teammates they retired
Oh, right.
because
Okay.
they're looking at it as both of them have some injuries. One of them have I think it's a dislocated disc or something like that, and he's pretty good at floor, so he doesn't really get therapy for it. We
Right.
have insurance, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're using our money anyways
Yeah.
to do all this, and we don't get regular checkups. We don't get X-rays to check what's going on. From like a month or any, like not even say once a month. No, nothing at all. Like if I decide to do high bar and I break my hand doing a skill, God forbid, it's on me. So what we have to do now is what I have to do now is train really really smart. So at my gym moved couple years now, and they built the gym knowing that my best event is high bar,
Right.
and they haven't built a pit. There's no pit under the high bar. So and the gym before had a pit. So I'm like, wow, because I mean I'm doing skills like
That's
I'm
basic health
practicing
and
Coleman.
safety, isn't it, though?
Exactly. I'm practicing Kovacs and all this on hard on always the hard ground. Like I'm comfortable doing Kovacs because I've trained my mind and my body is up to par with everything that I'm doing. But I mean, when
Yeah.
I'm ready to do like Coleman, like if I'm probably gonna land bad or land late or try to see the bar late, it's gonna be very tricky because you
Yeah.
don't feel that safe doing it. I mean, we can have persons holding up the mat for you to land on, but that I mean,
It's not the same, though, is it?
that's not the same. That is not the same. Trust me.
Because
Back
tight
to
restrictions did keep the rate of COVID-19 infections low. How has this affected your gymnastics? How has the coronavirus affected your life and gymnastics?
so I've literally just started back training like almost a month now since February, and I'm trying to get back into shape with stuff. I mean, I've jumped on the bar and I'm like, I'm like this. I'm like
Yeah,
shaking. I'm like,
stiff.
oh,
Yeah.
what is this? You know, it's foreign. But it has affected me a lot, to be honest, because for one, my strength has decreased a lot. I mean, there's so much that you can do like at home. Going into training, it's pretty rough. It's getting better. It's getting better. But at the same time, even right now, my times where I normally train, I'll train like in the evenings, which it's when it's cooler. Now
Right.
my time is restricted to the mornings, so I can only go in the mornings when the sun is just coming out and it's really hot. Our gym is not air conditioned, you know. We don't have that luxury, but we do have fans and stuff like that, you know. And I mean, it does help from time to time, but I mean, you have to do like a session, then you have to stand up in the fan, cool down yourself, and then I'm a person where my body gets really really hot, you know. So I have to be very mindful of how long I train because my body will get really really hot and then I'll probably just like sit there for like half an hour, and then by the time I'm ready again, I don't want to do anything. You know? So yeah, it's been a while, right? It's been a
Yeah.
while, right? Trust me, it's been.
So tell me about your coaching. What age groups do you coach, and is that something you'd want to continue after your gymnastics career?
Well, I've been working at the gym. I've been working at the gym for over 8 years, almost 9. Yeah, I've been working there for quite some time.
Okay.
I've been coaching. Two and a half age groups 2.5 up. So I teach all across the board.
So what's your future goals and dreams?
The main goal right now is still gymnastics. That's on top, you know. And then I have my business that I run, which is the
Yeah.
shoes business. So those two is what the main focus is on right now. So as you can see, the lighting right here, this is my YouTube setup, you know. So I'm about to launch that soon. I'm about to launch that soon on YouTube to get everything up and running because persons, as I said here, it's a growing market, but they like to see what they're getting into, you know, man. And
Yeah,
I
of
mean, who
course.
doesn't? So my focus is mainly on those two to get back into my training, you know, get new skills, you know, get ready for, well, the year after, because obviously next year is the Olympics.
Thank you so much for your time.
Really? All right. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
thank you. I wish you the
Thank
best
you.
and take care.
Thank you.